Hello everyone, this is Waldorf.
And this is Statler.
And today we are looking at the Empire of Sonnstahl.
So this will be an Army book review for version 1.3.4, right?
4, I believe.
For Empire of Sonnstahl.
Empire of Sonnstahl. Yeah, look at that. M134. Alright, I've got an Empire army.
I have an Empire army.
It's been kind of half stolen, but I've got an Empire army.
Yeah, mine's been in the case for quite some time.
I haven't played them in 9th Age. I've played against them a bit in 9th Age. More than what you've seen on the channel, because a couple of the Empire armies I play against are not painted armies.
They're not painted.
So
and if they're listening, they know who we're talking about, and they need to get off the on the stick.
They need to get up. They need to get busy and finish their armies.
Yes.
So anyway, this has always been a nice army. We'll start with the army special rules.
Nice army from an aesthetic, or
I like this army. I think it's a nice aesthetic. I think it's always played nice. It's always,
I don't say about always, but
no, it's got that human thing where they're not. They can't win any. On 1-to-1s, they should not win any. This is the way I've always viewed the army. In a 1-on-1, they should not really win any fights. They need support. They need magic. They need their heroes or their buffs or something to help them.
Yeah.
Just straight unit on unit. In my opinion, the humans should lose against anything except maybe goblins and rats.
Against elite things, but
against even a unit of humans should lose. The way I've always viewed it, unit of humans should lose to an equal point unit of orcs. Orcs are the tough, stronger guys. Dwarves should beat them. Anyway, that's just the way I've always viewed this army.
Yeah.
And that's my personal view. But they should have these we'll start with the army special rules, which are the blessings,
right,
which help them a lot. All these, a model with this rule and all model parts in the same unit except mounts gain hatred.
And these are the prelates, basically.
These are the prelates. A model with this rule can cast the following 3 bound spells at power level 3 once per magic phase.
Yep.
They affect the caster's units, their augments, and they last a turn. They have Ulor's Blessing, which gives you a 5-up ward save against close combat attacks. This is fantastic for a 3-up. Suna's Blessing. All targets gain flaming attacks once all enemy units in base contact with one or more targets of this spell when the spell is cast suffer D6 strength 4. Though this was to stop them from getting 3 units in base contact with you and doing 3d6 to you.
Yeah.
And the Volan's Blessing can reroll failed to wounds in combat.
Yeah, frankly, most people would take the character that gets this just to get the hatred. So,
yeah, the character's worth it for the hatred.
You get the blessings too, and the blessings, they're all very buffy and they're all very helpful. They have the problem with 9th Age has right now of they're so easy to cast compared to spells.
Correct.
And you're not paying really as much for them as you do to get a wizard. So
one of the problems with the bound spells,
and you can get as many as you want.
In my opinion, one of the problems with bound spells is it's a power level 3.
Yep.
So your opponent, the guy, whoever has this, can throw 1 die at it.
Yeah.
On 2/3 of the time, he's going to get it off because you get no pluses to it. But
Correct.
2/3 of the time, you're going to get it off. And now your opponent has to, and if he fails, there's no penalty for it.
Correct.
The opponent can't afford to throw 1 die at it. Because if he throws 1 die at it, gets a rolls of 1 or 2, your bound spell's gone off. And it's just terrible. You've lost concentration, right? Because you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. And if you really want it, you put a whole bunch of dice against it, and it's not going to hurt you.
Right. At worst, you throw 4 or 5 dice at it, and at worst, you don't cast it anymore that game.
Yeah.
You can use the other 2. Anyway, just my own personal thing.
All it's not defined is I don't think you lose it, do you?
Yes.
It's
a bound spell.
On the bound, not a bound.
It's not an innate ability or whatever.
Yeah. But still, I just think, they're for the. I think they're actually in the right spot. I just think regular magic is too variable and too expensive to cast. But
actually, I think there should be the only thing I would.
But these should be slightly harder to cast. So you at least have to put 2 dice behind them.
They should, or at minimum, there should be a caveat or something on the prelates or whatever. If you have multiples of these, if you fail to cast one, you're done.
Yeah.
You just can't keep throwing a single dice.
Yeah, that can work. Especially if you can have, and this, unlike regular magic, you can cast as many of these as you want.
Correct. Anyway.
But it's a fantastic ability for
It's a great ability for the Empire.
For EOS, so, yeah.
It's great because I can call them the Empire and it still works because they're the Empire of Sonnstahl.
Exactly.
So I don't get called on the carpet for using the old names.
I'm surprised I didn't call them something else. The Kingdom of Sonnstahl or something, yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised as well.
Yeah. Parent units and support units. Okay, certain units in the Army book are designated as either parent or support. Support units are considered insignificant by parent units and may perform supporting actions as described below. So this is kind of a holdover from 8th edition when you had the
it is.
those units, but here at least they designated specifically what formations are parent and which are supporting.
Correct.
So it's not like before you could just take the same types of guys and do with all the weird stuff.
Mm-hmm. And the normal stuff. You can stand and shoot if your parent unit is charged.
Yes.
You can declare. You can declare a counter. Is this a counter charge?
Number 1.
What's this?
What?
Number 1 is the stand and shoot. 2 is if you're successfully charged. If your parent unit, when a parent unit is successfully charged, then you can declare the counter charge.
Correct.
Right. And the third option, of course, is at least 1 full rank. If you have at least 1 full rank, you count as having the same number of full ranks as your parent unit.
So you can put out small little units and still get your...
Yeah, as long as you can keep at least 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's nice. And we come down to the orders, which is another really nice thing in this army. A character with this order can give a single order to a parent or support unit within 6. And of course, if you have a general with this if you have a general with this rule, instead of giving a single order, may instead give a single to his own special rule. May instead give a single order to a friendly unit within 12.
12 instead of 6.
So you pass out these orders.
Right, and it's basically the martial guys, if I remember correctly, are the ones that have this.
Yeah. And these are really nice little buffs to your unit.
For infantry.
For infantry. Plus, and they only work on infantry.
Yeah.
But +2 movement is great on infantry.
Yep.
Of course, if you declare a charge, it's only +1 movement, but it's still +1 movement.
Right.
+2 movement means you move 4 inches further if you're marching.
Right.
That's really nice. The steady men gives you the cold-blooded.
Yep.
You basically roll 3 dice. Unit that receives this order and passes a rally may move and shoot in the same turn.
Yep.
So basically, it turns you into the old fast cav rally and move.
Yep.
So you
don't see that get used very much, but
you don't. Well, the problem is it's the range.
Right.
You know what? The other thing that's kind of interesting in this,
I think people forget about it. I think
they do.
Yeah.
I think they do. The other thing that's I think is I don't know whether it's I don't know. I've seen people, and I haven't done the research to find it out myself, but if your general's in a unit that's fleeing, can he give himself steady men?
I thought you couldn't do anything if you're fleeing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to. The one thing I've never done is look in the rule book to see if there's a rule that says you cannot do any voluntary.
I'm assuming that, but I didn't think you do any voluntary things, but
that would be fantastic.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, ready, aim, fire, where you get +6 inches shooting.
Yeah, which is
really nice on your 24-inch
handgunners,
or your 24-inch volley gun. I guess a volley gun doesn't count.
The handgunners, but it's nice on those little pistol guys.
Yeah,
12 or 18.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then brace for impact. Target gains fight an extra rank. The only thing I don't like about the brace for impact is if you're bracing for impact, you should not be able to move.
So if they call it something else, you'd be okay with it?
Yeah.
No.
Really, I seriously would.
Yeah.
Or just tone it down so you can't move. If
you
do a brace, if you get fight an extra rank, you can't move.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Feel that way about spearmen anyway.
Just rename it. Just rename it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that brings us to the armory, and this is the mundane weapons that are specific to the Empire of Sonnstahl. First is the repeater gun, shooting weapon, range 24, strength 4, Armor piercing 1, multi shots 3, unwieldy.
This is the repeating rifle thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen too many people use these guys.
The cav unit with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is who you,
I don't either.
It's either there or the engine, whatever that engineer guy's called.
The engineer can
Artificer,
carry one.
I think,
Yeah,
whatever.
Artificer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see if these used. They're now that they're unwieldy, they're a little bit better than they used to be, because at least now you can move and shoot where you couldn't before.
Yeah.
But it's a -2 to that penalty.
Well, you figure the cav unit, it's still a big deal in the cav unit, and the cav unit's so fast, the riders, that the next option, repeater pistol,
Repeater pistol's the one to go.
is just the one to go.
Which is 12-inch. Well, yeah, it's actually the bottom one combined
Yeah,
with the
that's
bottom
true,
one.
yeah,
It's a 12-inch shot, strength 4, armor piercing 1, multi-shot 3, quick to fire, and when combined with a pistol, it gains multi-shot 4. This is
Right.
only available to the champion,
Right.
or an artificer.
Yeah, the artificer, yeah.
So
Or I think regular character too, right? They can
yeah,
buy a
regular
pistol.
character might take
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So yeah, I was talking. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. The brace of pistols.
brace of
We'll go ahead and
pistols,
skip
awesome.
down to it since it's all
Okay,
related.
since we're already talking.
So shooting weapon range 12, strength 4, quick to fire, armor piercing 1, multi shots 2, and counts as paired weapon in close combat.
Yes.
This, along with the special rule of the riders, when we get to that, you'll see why these.
Right.
This is just a
And
fantastic
they
thing.
bumped this unit's ballistic skill up to 4,
Yeah,
which makes these incredibly good because
Yeah.
you're fast enough. You're moving 16. Well, guess we'll get to the unit.
we'll get to the unit later.
The long rifle. The long rifle is a 48-inch. It's a rifle 48-inch, strength 5, multi-wound 2 versus infantry, cav, and war beasts.
Right.
It's unwieldy, AP 1, and accurate. So no -1 dish for long range. This is a nice weapon. I'm surprised I don't see it as much on the artificers. I
Yeah.
think they're the only one. Them and characters are probably the only ones that can
Yeah,
take it.
I
But
think-
I think it might just be the artificer.
I think that's part.
They used to be able to snipe characters out of units,
Right. I
And
think-
that's
And
gone.
you used to be able to put them in your champions at one point in time, in your handgunner units.
Oh, maybe they still can do it there.
Can't
We'll see.
recall. We'll see when we get to it. I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, it's okay, but it's not like you're have a shortage of strength 5 shooting weapons in this army.
Yeah, but 48 inches is really nice.
It is, but it's still only one shot.
It is still only one shot. Moving on to the magical items.
So first we start with the magical weapons. Then we have the be-all and end-all sword for the army, the Sonnstahl.
Named after the army, it has to be awesome.
There you go. Attacks made with this weapon wound automatically and have armor piercing 6.
It's a good weapon.
It's very nice.
It has to be a guy on.
It's expensive.
It almost pretty much has to be on a guy on a horse. You can armor him up, so he has a 1-up save.
Yeah, because you can't afford.
Because you're
any,
not going to get a
You
war
can't
save.
afford any of the other armors to get him up to 2-up or anything.
Correct.
If
If he's on foot, and you can't protect, you're not going to have any other kind of protection.
right.
Unless, of course, you've got the prelate helping you with a 5-up board save would be nice
Yeah.
in close combat. It's a fantastic weapon. I love this weapon.
Always liked it. Always ended up in my army.
Yep. Next one we have is the Hammer of Witches.
Which?
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 I don't know. It's a hand weapon,
Yeah.
and attacks made with this weapon gain
Which one?
lightning reflexes and +1 strength. +1 strength item is 30 points, 40 points.
I think it's 40.
I don't
can't
know.
remember.
Not sure off the top of my head. So you're gaining like +1 to hit, +1 strength for 60 points. I like this.
It's not bad. The challenge is you only got really one fighting character in the army.
With 4 attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like this weapon though. What else?
Brings us to the Star Mace. I mean, I like the weapon. It's just there's not not a lot to give it to. Star Mace. It's a great weapon. So it's
How great is it?
it's a star. It's a star.
Okay.
It's
On a
star.
mace?
Exactly.
Star on a stick?
Yeah, it's a star.
We used to call this the cannonball on the stick.
Yeah, I used to. Star Mace. The wielder gains crush attack when wielding this weapon. This weapon's only really for one guy. So,
Yeah, it's for the prelate guy.
yeah. I guess you could put it on mage if you wanted.
Yeah, you could.
I think I want to attack
I've
anyway.
never even considered putting it on mage.
You don't lose anything for using
Welcome
it.
to the mage. I'm going to kill this guy. He pulled this big mace and knocked you on the head
Yeah.
with it.
Probably that goes last. So you have to put the mage on something that's going to keep them alive.
Yeah, that's true.
I think they can still fly on those big two-headed griffins, can't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Magical armor. We have the blessed armor of Frederick the Great.
Friedrich the Große.
You can only you have to be on foot for this armor. It's plate armor, and you have a 1-up save. Done. 70 points for a 1-up armor save.
Yep.
That's good on a foot guy.
Yep. Pretty much in every army.
I like that.
Anything to keep you guys alive.
Yep.
The armor of Volund. Plate armor. Attacks against a wearer with lethal strike lose this special rule. It's plate armor.
It's plate armor, which you're probably playing,
you can get
20
anyway.
points for, probably?
Yeah, probably.
So for 15 points more, you're
immune to
lethal strike.
Lethal strike.
That's actually kind of handy.
It's handy.
So now you can charge into something that you normally wouldn't be afraid of.
Yeah.
The Black Helm. Armor type none, 6-up armor save, gains fear.
I'm afraid.
I'm afraid
feared.
I like this item a lot.
I like anything that gives fear. I like.
Yeah.
30 points.
They're not scrubbing like I know the
30 points, and it's a basically a helm. It's a +1 armor save.
+1 armor save. What I was about to say is this army, the Sonnstahl army, they're not kind of looking for those +1 armor save things because they can get to 1-up without it.
Yeah. Well, it depends who you talk. I can't remember if the. I guess we'll get to the prelate can.
The prelate can.
I think he can only
cannot.
have heavy.
He can only have heavy.
So he could be fearful.
Correct.
But hatred and fear.
I think this is a fantastic item.
I think it is too. Brings us to another terrible item.
Yeah.
The Winter Cloak. The wearer gains distracting and a ward save 5, and he's fireborn.
It's a nice item.
It's a nice item.
It is.
You know what's better than making a save?
What's that?
Not getting hit.
Not making a save in itself.
Yes, exactly.
Then we have the Locket of Suna. Bearer automatically swaps its characteristic values of strength, toughness, initiative, and attacks with those of its opponent when fighting in a challenge. This is done before applying other modifiers, and you can never swap those with a mount of the enemy.
Yep.
This is another fun item that makes people afraid to challenge you if you've got this on a little wizard or a prelate.
Yeah, pretty much if you got a prelate, you're going to have this, and if you don't have a prelate and you got a wizard, why not? You got nothing else to do with the points.
Right. Anytime I charge a unit a big unit of Empire Knights, I'll charge them and I'll ask them, does this guy have this? Is this item in the unit? No? Okay, now I can challenge.
Yeah.
Because I don't want my general getting tied up fighting some little fluffy character.
Right. Brings us to the magical standards. Banner of Unity. Oh, sounds so PC.
It is.
35 points. The Baron's unit is never disrupted when flanked by enemy units, but can still be disrupted by enemy units to its rear.
Really? I don't see this enough.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised myself.
I like this item.
Yeah. Well, the key is it's 35 and not 25. If it was 25, you could take it as a veteran.
You can take up to 50
Oh,
veterans.
50. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still thinking old points, aren't
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
This is a really nice item. I'm surprised I don't see it more.
Yeah.
Maybe it's there and I just don't notice it.
Maybe, yeah, because that's a great item.
Yeah. Or maybe your veteran standard goes to something something else. Anyway, the Banner of the Stallion. Mounted characters only. The bearer's unit and all friendly units with Swift Stride within 12 of the bearer may re-roll results of 1 for the charge range, pursuit, and overrun rolls.
Yeah, you do a quasi or full mounted list. This is
actually really better. This is even better than I thought. I thought this was just for Cav. It also works on their big Griffin thing.
Yeah, anything mounted.
Okay, that's a nice item.
And it's all basically the rolls where you're rolling for distance.
Yeah, this is really nice. I like this a lot.
Well, the big thing is the bearer, and all friendly units within
12.
12.
If it was just the bearer,
If it was just the bearer in a unit,
it would be a good item.
It would still be solid for 30 points, but
all units within 12.
Theoretically,
really
half
nice.
your army could get this. Is pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah. So generally, I think EOS has some of the better lists of magic items.
Yeah, I didn't think we saw a dud in there, did we?
There's not really any duds, and there's not any situational ones like a lot of people have. So I think it's a really good list, which I'm okay with because I'd actually like to see I'll call it the weaker fighting armies like EOS and Kingdom Octane, and you like to see more magic items to help them with their to even the field a little bit against the bigger, scarier things.
Yeah, like I was saying up front. I mean, I view them as a weak army. They need help.
Right. Brings us to the army organization. So they have the bog standard 40% characters, 25% cores, special no limit. Imperial auxiliaries 35%, Imperial armory only 20%, and Suna's fury is 30%.
A lot of categories in this army.
Yeah, they have 3 extra, and some only have
one
extra, but there's a number of 2s also. But yeah.
All right, we come to the first character. The army list, the characters max 40%.
Marshal.
We have the Marshal.
Yes.
Marshal comes with plate armor, and he has orders, which we saw earlier.
Yes.
He can be. There's only one stat line for the Marshal.
Yes, he's basically an old hero.
He's kind of an old hero, except for a leadership bump.
Yeah.
Weapon skill 5, strength 4, tough 4. He can be the standard bearer for free. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
If
some people argue it's built into his points.
If he's the battle standard bearer, he can take up to 100 other points. If otherwise, he can take 200. Take a shield for 6. Weapon choices. Can take a pistol. There's one of your pistols. Not a repeater pistol, though. Can ride a mount, a horse, a griffin, or a great griffin.
And only 40 points for the horse.
If he takes the great griffin, it can't be a battle standard. I guess that. So you can't extend it to 18. Is that what they're looking for there?
Could be. I'm just noticing that it's only 40 points for a horse. Did I mention that?
Really? Why would you mention that?
I don't know.
Somebody played more than 40 points for a horse somewhere?
Yeah, it's another army with horse envy.
Another army with men riding horses?
Yeah.
What other army would that be, pray tell?
It's not really any army because this one's better.
Yeah, this one does it better?
This one does it better.
Okay, he can also be upgraded to a great tactician, and which he can give 2 orders instead of 1.
Yep.
For 60 points. It's a nice choice.
Yeah.
Or he can be upgraded to the Imperial Prince for 180. If he's upgraded to the Imperial Prince, he gains +1 attack, and comes with the Sonnstahl, a 170 point item.
He's paying 10 points for +1 attack.
Paying 10 points for +1 attack. Imperial Prince may not purchase any other magic weapons. Why would you need to? And may only take up to 50 points of magic. Oh,
so he gets a bonus.
So he basically has 220 points of magic items and an attack.
Yes.
Okay. He can ride, in addition to the other mounts he can ride a dragon.
Yes, it looks like a regular dragon.
It's strength 6, tough 6, 6 wounds, 5 attacks, yes.
Strength 4, a breath weapon.
Strength 4, flaming, yeah.
I have to admit, there's one thing. I wish the Imperial Prince could ride the other mounts.
He can't. He can ride the Great Griffin. He can ride these.
Oh, I was interpreting that to mean he only. I've always been reading this wrong. That he only could ride the dragon.
No, I think he can take.
He has the additional option. Okay.
I think this is an additional option.
Yeah.
So for 180 points, if you like the Sonnstahl for 180 points, this is a no-brainer.
Well, I don't know because you still have the other guy, who I think has a better weapon skill.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Speaking of which,
and he has one better weapon skill.
We have the Knight Commander. He's got a weapon skill 6, ballistic skill 3, strength 4, toughness 4, 3 wounds. Initiative 6. I think the other guy was a 5 also.
He was.
4 attacks and leadership 9. He comes with a horse, plate armor, barding, and mounts. What? And mounts protection 6. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
The horse.
The horse.
Yeah,
because he comes with a horse.
Yeah. So you can take up to 200 points worth of magic weapons. You can take a shield, which probably always will have. He can have a halberd, a great weapon, a lance, or more likely the Sonnstahl sword. And if you want, you can get rid of his horse and its barding, and he can take a young griffin, which is basically the monstrous cabin.
Okay.
3 strength, 5 attacks, toughness 4,
Yeah, AP1.
Causes fear.
Lose a point of protection.
Lose a point of protection. You can get it back, though, with magic. So
With that helm that we talked about earlier.
Exactly. Or one of the other ones.
Yes,
So,
one of the ones out of the main book.
yeah,
All right, so this is a nice character. This is a fighty 4-attack character.
right.
Standard human. Looks like about the same stat line as the Kingdom of Aquitaine guy.
Yeah, he is. He's basically the same as a duke.
Okay. He gets his horse for free.
It's incorporated to his cost.
Do you get a duke for 210 with a horse?
He ends up, if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've looked at it, but I think it was like 15 points difference. It's not a huge difference, but it is different.
All right, we're moving on to the prelate.
Yes.
The prelate comes with heavy armor, blessings, channel, and divine attacks.
Yes, and we've talked about the blessings already.
I forgot he had divine attacks.
Yes.
He can
He's
take
so divine.
up to 200 points worth of magic items. Wow.
Yeah, they upped it.
And he's the standard 3-wound guy.
Yes,
They don't have the little guy anymore.
No.
He can take a shield.
There aren't that many of those in the game anymore.
Yeah.
They're like goblins.
It's odd because the orcs and goblins both have them in all categories.
You don't have a 2-wound goblin. Orc, I mean.
I don't have a 2-wound orc, but I have 2
Yeah.
stat lines for my orc.
Oh, yeah.
I got a hero stat line and a regular stat
That's
line.
true.
Anyway.
A lot of people still have that.
Can take a shield, take the normal couple of choices of weapons. Great weapon, flail. That's different. Can ride either a horse or the altar of battle.
And his horse costs more than the horse for a marshal.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
By half the margin.
I can kind of see why, because he gives the unit hatred,
Yes.
and you're giving a cav unit hatred instead of a foot unit hatred, I guess, is what they're thinking.
I guess.
Anyway. The altar of battle that he can ride, of course. Mount and its rider count towards characters and towards Suna's fury.
Right.
The altar of battle is strength 5, tough 5 with 5 wounds, towering presence, 4-up ward, and stubborn. And grants hatred to all friendly units within 6 inches.
Correct.
Excluding mounts. All blessings and bound spells cast by the guy on top, the prelate on top, have aura 6.
Yes.
So all those cheap little blessings we talked about earlier are now bumped up 6 inches.
More than likely, if you're playing this guy, you've only got him. You've only got one guy instead of multiple prelates running
Correct,
around.
because he bumps multi-units.
Yeah.
A prelate that rides an altar battle can cast Unerring Strike from Divination as a bound spell at power level 4.
Right.
And he can bard it, so he can get, who knows. The barding gives him +1 armor save. He's got heavy armor and a shield. So, anyway, bring his armor save down to probably, 4? It's already 4. Bring him down to 3. Plus, he gets another helmet or something and down to 2.
Right.
So, it's actually fairly nice. It's 400 points. It's pricey, but what it does is fantastic.
No, it's a very nice piece.
Anyway.
It does limit your monstrous cav guys, but
what you're getting for the price of a wizard with 1 spell.
And the challenge is if you make him your general, he's only leadership 8.
He is, but you've got magic items to put on him. You can bump him, give him that one that gives him +1 leadership.
You can.
If you really want to. My problem with this guy, like I was about to say, is he's the same price as a wizard with 1 spell, and he's got 3 spells.
Yep.
And
that are easy to cast.
And he's got...
that don't blow anybody up.
And he's got protection. He's stronger. He's tougher.
Yep.
He's heavy armor and a shield.
More attacks.
I mean, base. He's got more attacks.
Better weapon skill.
Yeah, I mean... And you know exactly what those spells are. You've got 3 instead of 1. They're easier to cast. And you know exactly what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not really a hit on him. It's more of a hit on the
mages cost too much.
The mages cost again. But anyway, fantastic. Every army will have at least one of these guys.
Yes.
If he's on a buff wagon, probably just one. But if he's
and many
by
of them
himself, you might
have
see
him riding
multiples.
around on something. And here's the wizard we were just talking about. Same points, but he's only got weapon skill 3, ballistic 3, strength 3, toughness 3, still 3. At least he's got 3 wounds, so he matches them there. And 3 initiative.
Leadership's down a notch.
Leadership's down a notch.
Too.
So you really can't have a wizard as your general in the Empire Sonnstahl. Well, you can.
You can if you're
expect a lot of guys to run away.
If you're willing to go with 8.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you spend the 70-point item.
Yeah. Yeah, no, not so much. Wizard Apprentice, he can become a master usual 70. And they have access to four
He does.
passive magic, which is rare because usually you only see two or three.
Mm-hmm.
Three being pretty common. But alchemy, one of my favorites. Divination, nice
really good.
lore. Thaumaturgy, I'm not a big fan of. And pyromancy, I'm not a big fan of for this army.
I actually like pyromancy as well. But
then the usual, you get one for free, 50, 100
yep.
for 3, and then 150 for... yeah, they just need to fix the points on... I mean, they're going to change magic, so I guess we'll have to see. But just
Correct.
The base wizard just seems to be so expensive before you pay for it. I don't mind paying the 50 for the spells, but
Right.
the 160 just seems to be much.
I mean, when you compare this to the prelate,
Oh, absolutely.
he's nowhere near as good as the prelate.
Yeah, or just compare it to
And the argument, of course, will
a
be
hero with a wand. You know.
Well, the argument will be that the prelate gets no bonus to cast, so whatever he casts on, it's
so
there
what?
and it's there.
I don't care if I'm casting
And
so
you're
many.
+1 to dispel. But that's fine in an even playing field. One prelate is probably not worth taking if that's all you're taking for magic.
Yeah.
But you combine him with a couple.
You still have 3 spells.
Yeah, but
It's still worth taking.
anyway,
You get, you know.
you get a big magic phase, you're probably not getting anything off.
True. If you don't take any bound items or
Right.
anything, yeah. Which you probably, you can if you want. So what
Got
else?
some mount choices.
He can have a horse. He can be on a Pegasus if he's a master only. So you can have your more expensive guy get shot up from under you. You know, he can be on a Great Griffin as long as you don't play with that one with the 2 heads. I can't stand that that build. And he can be on an Arcane Engine. So another buff wagon. The Arcane Engine, strength, toughness, and wounds 5. So it's relatively resilient and actually hits a little bit. Because it's a chariot, so it gets impact hits. It's got a crew of 2, 2 strength, 3 attacks, no big deal, and 2 horses, 2 more. So 4 strength, 3 attacks isn't going to hurt much. You're going to rely on your impact hits because otherwise this thing shouldn't be fighting. But then again, it's a wizard; it shouldn't be fighting anyway. It gets heavy armor, it gets an extra channel, and it gets towering presence, which doesn't really help you too much because once again, you don't want your wizard being your general with that leadership. But
No.
That's not what his role is. Then, if you have an Arcane Engine, you have to take one of 2 different types of Arcane Engine. The first is the Arcane Shield. And what this does is it grants distracting to all friendly units within 6 inches. And the engine knows the spell Know Thy Enemy from Divination, and it's bound at 4. So the distracting there's no rolling.
Right.
It's an automatic buff.
That's fantastic.
Which is fantastic. Then you have Foresight. Arcane Engine with this Foresight grants lightning reflexes to all units within 6 inches. It has the ability to cast Fate's Judgment, a bound spell from Divination level 4.
Yeah, both these +1 to hit or -1 to be hit.
Yes.
That's really good.
And you see armies that, maybe not with wizards on, because you can take them separately. You see both of these just to pile on all 3 of the buff wagons, just to pile on the buffs. That becomes a little bit much, but
in excess of buff wagons.
Yeah, I would like them to have something that you can't have so many. Limit the number of buff wagons you can take.
Right.
Or at least the type of buff wagons you can take.
Brings us to the Inquisitor.
Inquisitor.
He's very curious.
No one ever expects the Spanish Inquisition.
he comes.
He's also 160 points.
He happens to be 160 points as well.
Yeah.
He comes with heavy armor. He is not a leader. He is lethal strike.
I look at that guy every time. I say he's not a leader.
He's not a leader.
Yes.
It's the first thing I think of when I see that guy.
Yeah, it's a hat.
It's that weird hat.
You can't lead with that kind of hat. That's just what it is.
It's not a tricorn.
Yes.
If it was a tricorn, he could lead.
That'd be different, yeah.
Anyway, he's not a leader. He's immune to psychology. He has lethal strike, multiple wounds D3, and magic resistance 2, all for that 160 points.
Mm-hmm.
If a unit contains 1 or more models with this rule, enemy spells targeting the Witch Hunter or its unit suffer -1 to their casting attempt. Doesn't affect aura spells. That's a lot of buffs. I mean, it's a lot of special rules for a 160 point guy. I like that.
It's okay.
He can take 100 points worth of magic items. He only has 2 attacks. Oh, sorry. Stop. Yeah.
Yes.
He has his stats are weapon skill 5, strength 5. Sorry, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 4, strength 4, tough 4. 4 initiative, so he's fairly quick. 2 attacks. Ooh,
He's basically kind of a hero with missing an attack.
missing an attack. He can take up to 100 points of magic items, plate armor, brace of pistols, great weapon or crossbow. Can ride a horse
And gains light troops.
light troops, so he can go with a lot of your
Yes.
fast cav units.
Yep.
For 60 points. I like this guy a lot. I don't see him. I would love to play this guy. I'd be tempted to give him that Axe of Battle and give him 6 attacks.
I was going to say, this is like...
with
made,
lethal
you know.
strikes, multi-wound.
Yes.
Of course, you got to push the wound through at strength 4,
Strength
but
4, but it's fine.
I think it would still be fun.
There's a lot of toughness 5 things out there, and toughness 4,
And he does
monstrous infantry.
He does have 3 wounds. He's heavy armor, shield. He can upgrade to plate
Yes, what you can
and
do.
shield.
Yep.
Anyway, he can't take a barded horse, so I guess he's only a 2-up armor.
Yeah, but he's got 100 points more than magic items, which is
Right.
hero level, basically.
Yeah, no, I think this is a fun guy.
So if you can do that and you can give him a +1 armor save, you can get him to a 1-up.
Yep.
And, use him to do stuff. I don't know if
Multi-wound D3. Does that apply to your brace of pistols?
I had thought that they had changed it so it didn't, but I don't see that written anywhere.
If you can put this guy on a horse and ride around and just shoot
Yeah.
at something with your ballistic skill of 4, just start pegging a unit in the flank.
Yeah.
That could be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I can.
Anyway, it's a lot of points for that, but ogres would not like it
Well, you can put
at
him,
all.
You put him with the riders, and then with the MR2 that makes them somewhat.
Somewhat resilient.
Well, they'll be 2-up ward save. If you armor up the guys, they'll be pretty much resistant
2-up
to.
ward save.
If you put them with the riders,
How are you getting a 2-up ward save?
they're 4-up, right?
4-up armor.
Well, I'm sorry. What am I thinking? Yeah. Yeah. Not using the
All
brain.
right. Senior
part-
moment.
Senior moment. Senior moment. Senior moment.
Yeah. Magic resistance stacks with armor now.
Yeah,
That's a special rule they had in
that's what they need. They need to add that.
9.3.4.
Well, they asked for ideas of how they could make MR better.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see a sneak preview that I didn't see?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I was reading through some of the 80-something plan. I'm sure it was in there somewhere.
Anyway. No, I like the Inquisitor. I think he's a nice model.
He's a fun model.
It's a fun model. I don't know that it's that competitive, but
Yes.
it's a fun model.
It's a fun model. Brings us to the Artificer. Only 130 points. We finally got somebody that's
Ooh,
cheap.
a cheap guy. He's
Relatively
only got
speaking.
2 wounds, though.
Yes. So here's one of those guys. He's got light armor. He's movement 4. Weapon skill 3. He's not for fighting.
No.
Ballistic skill 4. I'm surprised they didn't give him ballistic skill 5. That would have been interesting. I guess
No, because you don't
because
want
of
to
the
give
because
his,
of the bonus that he gives.
Right.
But anyway, we'll get to when we talk about the bonuses. Strength 3, toughness 3, 2 wounds, 3 initiative, 1 attack. He's kind of like a wizard with slightly better ballistic skill. He's got light armor. He's an engineer, which is why you can't do anything. Why you can't do it. The Master Artificer may give the order ready aim fire to a parent unit or support unit he has joined.
That's that plus 6-inch range.
Yes. So you put them in for handgunners if you ever took them for some strange reason. You can use that. May take magic items up to 50 points, so he's got discounted magic items he can have.
Yeah.
And may take weapon choice, a handgun, a repeater pistol. There it is, a repeater handgun, or a long rifle. Mm-hmm. And he may ride a horse.
The ready aim fire thing, I've seen them deployed with a unit of handgunners guarding the war machines.
Right.
And then you sit out at 13 inches to charge it. He gives them the ready aim fire, which makes now that short range 15 inches.
Right.
It's like, oh crap, didn't think about that. Anyway, nice little trick he's got. But
I'd rather protect him with something else.
Exactly.
Something unbreakable comes to
Something
mind.
unbreakable with multiple attacks. Stuff.
Yes.
Anyway, nice.
If
You'll see him a lot.
If you're playing with war machines because of the engineer rule.
Yeah, the +1 to hit basically for your war machines is what it comes down to.
That's especially when you're playing with volley guns.
Volley guns or a cannon.
Yeah. Anything. Any of them, it helps. It's a big deal.
Yeah. All right, character mounts. What do we got? We got a horse. that can take barding. Oh, that other guy's horse can take barding then. Sorry. The Inquisitor. Because it's built into the horse option, not in the character option. Okay.
Hopefully they'll change it with the books. They should put all the stuff together.
So a horse with barding, that's nice. Pegasus.
Pegasi.
Pegasi, which flies. You know what I'm noticing here?
What's that?
Their Pegasus isn't slowed down by putting a guy on it.
The other one's not slowed down, if only just because of barding.
Oh, because of barding.
He doesn't have barding.
There you go. I thought it was because of the fat guy riding it.
Yeah, no,
All right.
because of barding.
Okay.
EOS is much fatter. They got more food.
Great Griffin.
And they have German efficiency in then growing it.
There you go.
Those French guys, they know how to make it, but they don't know how to make. Can't grow it.
Here's your mighty Griffin, which is weapon skill 5, strength 6, tough 5, 4 wounds, 5 initiative, 4 attacks.
Yeah.
Flies 8, fear and towering presence. No
Fear.
two-headed option anymore.
That's fine. Fear.
You don't like the two-headed option?
Yeah, not so much. Because the heads got smaller. I don't know if you noticed that on the model.
Yes.
It already had like this huge chest. It was like feed a family of 500 for a
It'll
year.
feed the whole army.
Yeah, but they put the 2 little heads on. It just looked odd to me. A fear monster is nice.
Yep.
Towering presence.
And a monstrous beast.
Makes you a little bit of a target, but
yeah, it gives you the bonus for the command radius, though.
yeah, but you're not putting your commander on this guy. I don't think. I think
Correct.
this is just nice to put a regular guy on, and I really like monstrous beasts in ninth
Yeah,
age.
when they combine the profile.
Because the combined profile, I just like the
Right.
combined profile. You can get an armor protection on the guy, and they go do stuff.
Yeah. Good fan. Big fan.
Yeah, I mean he's not going to crush a big unit of elite guys, but he's still good.
All right, moving on to core.
Core.
We have heavy infantry. 20 models for 160 points. That's 8 points a guy. If you can do the math. You can add up to 30 for 10 points a guy. Human stats.
How much was that?
What?
How much was that?
What?
How many points?
I don't know. What were we talking about? Weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 3, strength 3, toughness 3, 1 wound, 3 initiative, 1 attack.
It's a human.
Is a human.
Straight human stats.
He comes with, for that 10 points, comes with light armor and shield. So he's probably going to be needed a 4 to hit unless you're elves.
I thought you said it was 8 points.
8 points for the first ones. You're right. I did. He is a support unit if his starting size is 20 models. If you add a guy, he becomes a parent unit.
I actually didn't remember this rule at all.
Really?
Yeah, I thought they were always parent units.
Oh,
so,
no.
Yeah.
At one point, they had identified them, but then they kind of switched on some units.
I did not realize that.
Anyway, because it got kind of messed up. Anyway, so it's a scoring unit. You can, for a point of model, you can give them spears. You can swap their shields for halberds for 2 points a model, which is a popular choice. And they can take halberds for 4 points a model.
Yeah, spears are so good.
Spears are good, really good.
Unfortunately, all my guys have halberds.
Do they?
Yeah, which isn't bad when you're doing the buff wagon.
You got shields on them?
Not too many, no.
Okay, then you go with the shield. Swap the shield for the halberd.
Yes,
Don't give yourself the save.
That's what I will be doing.
Standard unit upgrades, and one of them can become a veteran standard. It's a core unit. It's a fine core unit.
Yeah.
They're going to get rolled over by most stuff except for the orders and the blessings when you start putting those on.
They're going to lose to most everything, as most core does. But you use the buffs to build synergy, which this army does very well, and you can have a big bricks of these guys. And,
because they're cheap.
Yeah, and they can hold people up, and you can get them up to 50 models, and fighting. You can get them fighting with their order up to 4 ranks deep. Halberd, strength 4, the +1s to hit.
Yeah, you got a horde of them. That's scary.
Yeah, you can mess with people.
Mm-hmm.
Brings us to the state militia. The militia. I guess they're allowed to own guns in the United States.
Are they an armed militia?
Yeah, obviously. 80 points, so 8 points per model for the first 10, and as opposed to the first 20. And then you can add 50 more models for 8 points per model. So you can, once again, these guys can have 60 guys.
Yeah, they can.
Yes, only 4 units though.
And leadership went down.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
They're bog
haven't got there
standard.
yet.
Haven't got that far. Bog standard human 333 333.
Lots of threes.
3 initiative, 1 attack, and then but they are down 1 leadership. So paired weapon. This, yeah, we were talking about and before about the loss of the +1 rally. These are the units like this are the ones that feel it. You know, the ones that
Right.
historically you'd want them having the support units, but they don't come back so easy. Paired weapons, so they basically go to initiative 4 to start with, and 2 attacks. Their support units are less than 20. If starting size is 20 or fewer models.
Right. If you go to 21, you're not a support.
So I assume that means they're not. The other one actually spelled it out. This one doesn't.
Same way. Means
Yeah.
the same thing.
I mean, yeah, there's why write it 2 different ways.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point.
Yeah, one's clear, one is not. Okay.
I think they're both clear. It's just
Yeah.
why do it 2 different
Yeah.
ways? That kind of makes, because when you read it this way, you go like, well, was I right when I read it the first
Well,
time?
no, then I read that it's not a parent unit.
Oh.
It can't be a parent unit. Is that what it's intended?
Oh, you're right. This.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. I'm
Yeah.
the dumb one. You cannot be a parent unit, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think they could make it clearer. That's all. May replace paired weapons with a bow with an asterisk. It's an asterisk bow
Okay.
at 3 points per model. In the
Because it does your favorite thing.
yeah,
It counts to 2 categories.
yeah, and then in the olden times, this was the option to take, but now we have the pistol option, which in the olden times was this was an old rule for people who played the old Dogs of War. You
The
get those little
skirmisher.
pistol guys, which I used to love. Yeah, so you can take a pistol for 5 points a model. The if you're playing them small, I really like that pistol option a lot.
Yeah.
If it's equipped with pistols or bows, it gains skirmishers and lose scoring.
You can.
Yes, it may. Yes,
Right.
and
2 points a guy.
I like them as skirmishers. I like skirmishing
Pistoliers.
shooters
Yep.
that don't pay for movement. The may upgrade one model to champion, musician, standard, whatever.
Yeah.
Still, to my earlier plug, I wish they'd do away with the points for these upgrades. Just say everybody gets it. If you don't, you get skirmish, and have at it. A unit with bows or pistols additionally counts towards the Imperial Auxiliaries category, which is the shooting category, and a maximum of 15 models per unit
With skirmish.
with skirmish. With skirmishers. Oh, is the rule? I guess not
With
skirmish. Skirmishers is the rule.
Skirmishers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but so you're gonna often see 14 or 15 of these guys if you're gonna see them.
Yeah, a couple units of 14.
Yeah.
A couple units. I usually see a couple units. I see a couple units of 10 on quite a bit.
Yeah. You
With
can't
guys
do
with pistols. It's 15
maximum
per
models
unit.
per unit with skirmishers.
You're going to have 2 units of 10.
Oh, per unit with skirmishers. I'm sorry. Yes,
Correct.
yes. Misread it.
Yeah, it's not per army.
Yeah, and I mean the only thing that would make these better is if they could have 5
They can have 5
models.
Oh, yeah, just
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
Brings us to the electoral cavalry. 5 models for 180. I'm not even going to attempt the math. May add up to 10 models at 36 points a model. Actually, it's 36 points a model.
It is.
Human riding it. Human stats across the board. Leadership 8,
Except for
though.
the leadership is pipped up 1.
1 up, as opposed to the militia, which are 1 down.
Yep.
And a standard horse.
Yes.
He comes with mounts protection 6, plate armor, barding. He comes with a great weapon.
Yes.
It's a
Which is the
scoring
cavalry
unit.
hammer, basically.
No, it's a great weapon.
Yeah.
The cav hammer is an option.
Yeah.
You can trade your great weapon for a lance for 2 points a model, which you may or may not do. You can take a shield for 2 points a model, which is almost a requirement because the 1-up armor is fantastic.
If you're taking a lance. Otherwise, I'm not so sure.
Really? Just the 1-up armor to be shot at? I guess there's not
If
a
I'm,
lot of strength for
if I'm not taking something else, which we'll get to.
Okay. May upgrade one of each of the models to command models and can take a veteran standard.
Mm-hmm.
If the army has a knight commander, any unit of Electoral Cav must be upgraded.
Yeah.
I guess this means every unit must be upgraded to Imperial Cav for 8 points a model.
Don't throw me into the briar patch. I don't want to be better.
You don't want, and which unfortunately imposes the +1 weapon skill and +1 strength on you, and gives you the option to replace your great weapon for a Cav hammer.
Yeah, this doesn't exist
which is
in
a halberd.
the KOE list. They're not allowed to have some nice things.
You break all your nice things.
Yeah.
This is a really nice unit.
I mean, if you don't take the Knight Commander, it's frankly nothing special.
Correct.
If you take the Knight Commander, then they're a solid core unit for building your army around, especially with some of the support units that you have.
It's even as a 180 point unit, it's a fairly cheap chaff unit.
It is
a brick.
It is
for shooting and getting rid of.
That's what I was saying. If you're not going to upgrade,
right,
then I think you're better off just taking them as they are.
Right.
And just whatever, dealing with it.
Yeah, hurl them into a flank at some point.
Yeah, because you're still you're initiative 0, but initiative 3 goes behind most stuff anyway these days. And strength 5, nothing wrong with it as a supporting little unit. But if you're going to get the upgrade, then things change.
Yeah, it's a nice unit though.
Yeah.
What's that give us?
I actually like the cavalry hammer.
Cavalry hammer's nice.
Yeah. Brings us to light infantry. 140 points, 10 models, so a little pricey, 14 points per model. Can add additional 10 for 14 each, so 28. Counts as both core and imperial auxiliaries, and you already heard me many times bemoan. I hate this multi-category stuff. Do away with core and just allocate. Weapons, they have a crossbow, they're a supporting unit, no choice here, and they're scoring. Scoring crossbowmen. May replace crossbow with handgun, so you can make them handgunners. It doesn't cost anything. It's kind of interesting that it's the same price. You lose a little bit of range, but you gain gunpowder. So and
that's the only trade-off, really.
Yeah, really. So, but yeah.
And if you've got the artificer hanging around near you, or the general that can give you the steady aim fire or whatever,
right?
I guess the crossbows get even better. 36. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. May upgrade one models to each of the following. You can give them a champion, and he replaces there it is. You can replace his handgun with the long rifle or the repeater gun.
Okay.
Musician
long
and
rifle's
standard
interesting
bearer.
With that.
Yeah.
Of course, that causes a problem, I would think, because the entire unit has to shoot at the same target.
Correct.
So that would cause a problem.
Yeah, that's the challenge with it.
So you're giving up your unit's shot to get your one shot at something sometimes.
Right. Well, strength 5 versus strength 4. It could be if you wanted to shoot at somebody out of range of these guys, I guess. Yeah,
correct.
That would be an issue, but yeah, it's just whatever.
All right.
And do you want to pay 20 points for an extra shot with your repeater gun?
Yeah, 14 points a model for handgunners. I mean, they hit pretty hard if they hit you.
Yeah. No,
ballistic skill 3.
Yeah, they shoot nice. I mean, they have the same problem with all ballistic, in my opinion.
Ballistic skill shooting.
With all ballistic skill unit-based shooting compared to war machines, because we'll get to that.
If somebody's in short range, no cover, everything else, half your guys hit.
Yeah, which is fine when you're strength 4.
The problem is when it gets when the
but
modifiers start adding up.
Especially if they're charging you to doing whatever.
Yeah.
I wish they would drop that being charged modifier. That would really change the dynamic. I think of shooting cavalry and shooting units a lot. Yeah, brings us to special units.
Special, we have the Imperial Guard.
They're so special.
They're 195 points for 15 and can add up to 25 more at 18 apiece.
Well, they did 15 just to give that discount, but
what's that? 15?
It's a weird number.
So I don't know.
I mean, they're squishy, but I guess. Anyway, yeah.
Weapon skill 4 guys.
Yep.
Strength 4 guys.
Yep.
With an 8 leadership.
Mm-hmm.
So they come with plate armor.
So they have elite human stats.
They do. They come with plate armor and a shield. They get bodyguard.
Yep.
They're a parent unit and they're scoring.
Yep.
So this is a parent unit that can be smaller than the 20-man support units.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. They can replace their shields with great weapons for 3 points a model.
This is the thing that they did. I like for because we know a guy who's got the old Reichsguard foot knights
Yeah, the guy
with the sword and the
yes.
shield. You know, he'd always loved using them. He was so mad when GW did away with them.
Right.
So now they brought that part of what they've tried to do for most of the armies and most of the units is bring back those units. So it's nice that you have the option.
Right.
I still like the great weapon better, but
To include all your models and
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
back some of the ones you lost.
yeah,
Yeah, which was a nice thing they've
Mm-hmm.
done. The great weapons are, I mean, these guys are strength 6 now with great weapons, which
Yeah.
is really nice.
yeah, I like this unit a lot.
Anyway,
That makes all, I think the strength 6 makes all the difference.
you can have up to 40 of them. That's going to be a pricey unit, though.
It is, but you got to play them big because they're going last, and yeah, they got a 4-up armor save, but you know,
But they're dying
they're,
in
they're
droves.
toughness 3. They're
Tough
still going to be
3.
losing them, so you need to have a lot of them.
Right.
The bodyguard's important too. Brings us to the nightly orders. So your first nightly order is to go to bed on time, have a glass of milk,
And a cookie.
and a cookie. So they're 280 points. I'm sorry, how much were the
180.
180? Okay, so 100 extra points. 5 models, you can add up to 7 more, so you can have up to 12. 50 points per model. So you get a slight discount. the stat line is elite human stats.
Yeah, the same as we
Weapon
saw
skill
above.
4. Oh, no,
initiative
it's better.
4.
Weapon skill 4, ballistic 3, strength 4, toughness 3, 1 wound, initiative 4, 2 attacks.
2 attacks.
2.
2.
Yes.
You know, the King of Train got a unit that has 2 attacks.
Yes, it does. They're slightly
Okay.
more expensive than this, but
Are they?
yes. yeah.
Okay.
And leadership 8. So these are the uber. These are really good human stats. You don't normally see 2 attacks unless there's something
Exactly.
special about them.
These are really nice.
Yeah. Mounts protection 6, plate armor, shield, barding.
So they come with
and a
1-up
lance.
armor. You, know,
So
you
they come
don't
up-
need to buy anything.
Correct. And the real only option is to switch out their lance for a cavalry hammer, which counts as a halberd. So they basically knock them down to an armor 2.
And 5-up, 5 strength.
But there
though.
would be 5 strength in every turn,
round.
as opposed to
Strength 6.
strength 6 on the
4.
charge and 4 every round thereafter.
Yeah, I think the cavalry hammers are really nice.
It is because the guys have plate armor.
Right.
If they had heavy armor like another army, then probably
Not as good because that would bring you up to armor 3.
yeah, then you're losing too many guys at toughness 3.
Right. No, this is a really nice unit, especially with the 2 attacks each.
Yeah.
That makes them really nice.
Yeah. In general, I wish horses did more in units. It should, really be the one thing causing more damage, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice unit.
I don't think that'll ever change.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that they want to keep things close to GW. It seems in some ways.
Yeah. I mean, for all the talk and for all the effort to move away from GW, some things they're just stuck with.
Yeah, the stat line just
Right.
they won't go away from that. Even GW went away from it.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they won't go away from it.
Maybe that is. But yeah.
Anyway, moving on. We have the Knights of the Sun Griffin. These are the knights I can never remember their names.
Yes.
3 models for 280 points.
I just call them Sun Knights.
Sun Knights. I think I called them that in the entire battle report we just did.
Yeah.
3 models can add up to 3 more models for 100 points each. It's a rider with the elite human stats, except for the 1 attack, of course. Weapon skill 4, strength 4,
So these riders
4
are
initiative.
are more elite than their other knights that are upgraded, but they're not as elite as they're elite knights. Yeah.
That's confusing.
Yeah.
Um,
And
Is he-
yet they have this elite mount.
surprised they don't have 2 attacks. Anyway, the Young Griffin, which is movement 7. It has 4 weapon skill. It has a strength 5, tough 4, 3 wounds, and 3 attacks.
Yeah.
The other initiative 4. So they both go at the same time.
I think they're trying to units that have both monsters and regular cavalry. They're trying to make a cavalry unit that's at least you think about taking in comparison to the monstrous units,
Okay,
and that's why you see stuff like that.
could be.
Yeah.
They have mounts protection 6 and plate armor. Plate gives them 4. This gives them 3. If they take a shield, they can get down to 2.
Right.
Um,
They come with a halberd,
They come with a halberd. They get armor.
which I would never take.
The Young Griffin gets armor piercing 1,
Yes.
so it makes those strength 5 attacks AP 1,
Correct.
so minus 3 to your armor. Fear and scoring.
It's fear.
Fear is
they
really
kept
nice.
fear is surprising actually.
Yes. They can replace their halberd with a lance and shield for 10 points a model.
Yeah, it's kind
This
of
is almost a standard. I see this
that's
all
kind
the
of
time.
that's kind of an auto thing.
Yeah, no one wants a 3-up armor.
No,
Guys,
it's
they
too
want the
expensive
two.
to do that. Yeah,
Standard musician
especially since it's only one attack.
upgrades.
You're giving up
Correct.
one strength for one attack. You know,
Yeah.
and you already have strength 5 on your guys below, so why bother?
Okay. And they can take a 100-point magic standard,
Yes.
which is good. I see a lot of movement banners, Strider standard.
Yeah, this is still to me. This is a wonderful unit.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Yeah, and for the points, I think they're definitely a way to go.
Moving on.
Someday I'll paint up my bears. Brings us to the Imperial Auxiliaries. So this is basically the shooty part of the army.
Okay.
And if you saw some of the
Crossbowman stuff calls to this one.
did the crossbowmen cross over? I didn't remember.
Yes.
That. Yeah. Okay. The other shooters that we had already counted towards Imperial Auxiliaries. So they come with a bow, which is kind of an interesting starting point. They start with 5. Oh, these are the Rangers. Yeah.
Rangers.
Imperial Rangers. 5 models. They can have an additional 5. So they basically be 10 models. 17 points for the additional models, so slightly cheaper. Come with a bow. Multi-shots 2.
Yeah, double shots.
Yes. Scout skirmishers, and that's kind of it.
Yeah. It's not a bad unit.
Ballistic skill
Ballistic
4.
skill 4 with multi-shot. I mean, you're going to lose the ballistic skill 4 on your multi-shot, which
Yes,
will bring you back down to 3 in effect. But
it will.
anyway, they're still pricey. 20 points a model.
Yeah, not compared to Sylvan Elf Sentinels.
You shoot much better than them.
Not that don't get multi-shot. Just one shot with poison, ballistic skill 4. So I'm not seeing them much better.
Moving on.
It's much more expensive than.
We have the Riders for
Yes.
150 points.
Yeah, very nice unit.
5 models for 150, 30 points a model. You can add up to 5 more for 30 points a model. You can have 0 to 3 in your army. There we go with a standard human stat line, except
Ballistic skill.
ballistic skill. And they all come with a horse. Mounts protection 6 and light armor, so you have a 5-up armor save. You get a pistol. You get a fire on impact rule, which we'll talk about in a minute, and fast cav. You can upgrade to heavy armor if you'd like for 4 points a model.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, that's like 20 points for a
Yes.
unit of 5. Where are you going to come up with that 20 points?
Yeah.
You can replace, because you're also doing this one, you can replace your pistol with a light lance and shield, which I don't think I've ever seen done.
And nor will you.
And you can replace that with, but I'm actually looking at that for 150 points for light lance and a shield for a just a quick redirector, cheap redirector thing. Might not be so bad. Anyway,
I've already shoot.
here's the option where you can take the brace of pistols for 6 points a model. And they can take the repeater gun for 6 points a model.
Yeah,
Oh, that's the rifle.
that's the
Yes,
rifle.
the rifle.
The one you never
Okay.
see.
It's another one I rarely, if ever, see.
It needs to be cheaper.
You can upgrade one to a champion, one to a musician. If you do a champion, he can get a repeater pistol for 20 points, which is basically 2 extra shots.
Right.
Now, back when I was seeing a lot of champions with this option.
Yes.
Back when the champion got +1 ballistic skill.
Right.
This guy was out there hitting you in 3s or something. It was ridiculous.
Yes.
But they haven't. They took that out. So the fire on impact special rule. In the first round of combat, after a model with this rule is successfully charged, you can replace your 2 normal attacks with 1 attack if you have a pistol, 2 attacks if you have a brace of pistols, which you'll always have. And these attacks are resolved at initiative 10, strength 4, and AP 1.
Yes.
I don't know why it says you may.
You want to be nice.
May replace. I guess you don't. I guess if you run into something you don't want to kill it in the first round.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe you want to chase it.
These are really nice because initiative 10 means they can clear off chaff fairly easily.
This is, in my opinion, this is by far the best light cavalry unit in the game. It shoots really well. It's well protected. It's still fast. 8's fast.
8's really fast, even at a 4-up armor.
Yeah, and charging an initiative 10, you basically go before all elves. I mean, no elven light cavalry can
Stand
withstand
to
attack from these guys. and they cost more.
The only weakness at all they have is the 7 leadership,
Yes.
which can be panicked off.
Yeah, that's about the only thing.
But other than that, I agree. They're the best. They're the
Yeah,
best.
they're the best. I think they're a little, for what they are, I think they're a little OP. But
they are, but they're in the Empire Army. So, I mean,
yeah,
anyway, it's a fantastic unit.
it is.
I see almost 2 units of these guys
Well,
in every
yeah,
one.
they're just so good because they do everything.
Right. And like you said, movement 16. With you, movement 16 means you get up there, you don't have to worry about range. You're hitting guys on 4s.
If they didn't have this fire for impact rule, they
would be a very good unit.
They'd still be a very good unit.
Correct. The
Yeah.
fire with it on impact makes them
Yeah.
a fantastic
It's just
unit.
fantastic. And then the ballistics go 4, so they hit a lot.
Yep.
Which is a problem with a lot of light cavalry. You just can't put it out enough fire.
Yeah. For the longest time, these were ballistic skill 3.
Yep.
And they were still a very good unit.
And they were still good. Yeah.
That meant they could hit you on 5s at
Yeah,
best.
yeah.
But, I mean, if they moved, or, I mean, at short range, whatever.
No, I mean,
Anyway.
they do start getting a little pricey when you start adding all the stuff to them.
They do.
You're adding.
But, I mean, you're adding brace of pistols and heavy. That's 10 points.
It's 10 points. You're 40 points. So
you're at 200 points for the
So they're the cost of a knight. So,
Yeah.
but, they're just.
Are they? Yeah, 40
Close,
points
close
a model.
enough.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, just slightly less, but but they're so good.
They're so good. Anyway, I
glad
love this.
I'm glad I have a lot
unit.
painted.
Yeah. Moving on to the Imperial Armory. 20% max on this. Here's your artillery. You can only take 3 pieces out of this. All your machines are toughness 4 with 5 wounds. 3 humans manning it. All right. Let's start. What do we have? We have the mortar.
The interesting thing is they've put all of these on the 60 millimeter round base.
Yeah, even the larger cannon.
I haven't remounted my stuff
gun.
for this for hardly anything yet, but fitting the cannon on 60 is probably. I mean, even the volley guns, it's tight.
Yes.
They could have gone 75, I think, on these. Not a big deal, but just
Right.
kind of weird. Anyway,
For 200 points, you get the mortar.
Oh.
It's a catapult 6.
yeah, it's so underpowered for 200 points.
Only got a range of 48. So
Yes.
corner to corner, it might not reach out and
Exactly, and
It's a strength 3, 6x6 pattern. 6 does strength 6 to the 1 target.
yes,
As AP 1 and multi wound 3 with that strength 6 attack.
yes.
What do you think about the mortar?
I think the same thing. I think about all of the catapults that do
All the
6x6.
6.
I think
There's 3 of them, I think.
Yeah, insanely good.
Insanely good.
I mean, you match this up against any unit of shooters
that
with
you pay 200
bows,
points for.
which are also strength 3, and they can't compare.
Correct.
Nothing can hit 36 models potentially.
Right. But you've got 10 wounds. It's only got 5.
Yeah, 5 at 10 at toughness 3. Who can also be panicked off and run away, which this will just not go. This will not shoot for a turn.
Next, it has the volley gun for 235 points.
Yep.
You only have 2 of these. You can have 3 of those mortars, by the way.
Yes, you
You
can.
only have 2 of these. Volley gun is 3d6 times 2.
Yes.
3d6 times 2 artillery weapon. It's a range of 24, strength 5, AP 1. So, you're putting out up to 36 shots
Yes.
at 24 inches, strength 5.
At 200 and something points.
Wow.
Tell me one archery unit that can match that.
This thing is fantastic.
It is.
I love this
Now, I'm
thing.
not saying that war machines are severely undercosted. I think there's a problem with archery.
Right.
But this is a wonderful item.
It's a wonderful piece.
It's really good for this particular army. As we said, they do have a challenge with their fighting ability, and they do want to, wear people down a bit. So
Right.
having these options is good. And this is a scary item.
It is I hate seeing this anytime.
And I love it because it's multi-purpose too. People like to take cannons against monsters, but a lot of monsters are only toughness 5.
Or toughness, even if you're toughness 6. I don't want to spy spider anywhere near this
Yeah,
thing.
you get enough hits. You're
Pumping out 20 strength 5 hits a turn.
You actually have the potential. It's likely you have the potential of taking down a monster.
You do.
With this. It's one of the only weapon on this list that you can potentially take out a monster with.
Yeah.
I love volley guns.
We come to the Imperial Rocketeers. for 215
I'm
points.
picturing some guys with rocket packs on their back,
The little
with little helmets with a fin on
with
them.
a fin helmet.
That's what I'm picturing.
Fin helmet helps you steer.
Yeah, those old guys that used to get the old Dogs of War guys. There was a Birdman of
Yes, Alcatraz or whatever.
Ultras or whatever the heck they were. Put a rocket on their back, and this is what I'm picturing. Hey, maybe that's what I could do. I have those models. That's what I can do with
You
them.
should, the Imperial Rocketeers.
Yeah, make them the Imperial. Put them on a base of 60 round. That's my.
And you can mount them like up at different levels, so they're all flying around. There you go. This is a Catapult 2.
Yes.
Its range is 12 or 36. You can actually hide from this one a little bit.
Yeah.
It's Strength 5, AP 1,
Yes.
Multi-Wound D3,
Yes.
and Flaming Attacks. The Multi-Wound D3 is what's supposed to sell this.
It's for monsters.
It's for fighting monsters and
Infantry, monsters, cavalry.
Yeah, because if you can hit, with ogres, if you hit on the first one, you're gonna hit 4 of them.
Right.
And do D3 wounds to each one.
Yep.
When you manage to wound.
I'm not a fan because I think it's too situational.
Yeah, it's too situational. I'm not a fan of this one.
Don't mind us here. To me, it's
Right.
too situational.
Yeah. Last option is the cannon for 260 points. Can be fired in two ways.
Fired out the front or out the back.
72 inches because there's no escaping it.
Yes.
It's strength 3, 10 under the hole.
72 will not make it corner to corner.
It will not. That is true.
Yeah.
It is strength 3, 10 under the hole, multi-wounds, D3 plus 1, clipped wings. So you can put out 5 wounds onto a flyer.
And most of the time, because most things are going to be within 36 inches most of the time. So you're going to be hitting on 4s, unless you give your artificer your 3s. And then if he's got clipped wings, you're hitting on 2s.
No, if he's got large target.
Large target, I'm sorry.
You're hitting on 2s.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, large target hitting on 2s against big things.
So you're hitting at 3s even without the artificer.
Yeah.
Anyway, these are fantastic. Cannon is fantastic. It's a great piece. You can also fire it as a volley gun with 2d6.
Well, the bounce is not so. People don't like it now a lot because of the bounce being so weak.
Correct. The bounce is very weak. It's down to strength 3.
Yeah, so it's 4 extra guys at strength 3.
So you're hitting. but that's not what you're using.
It's really it's really for trying to kill.
You're using it for kill the monster.
Now the interesting thing is that it really can't kill war machines anymore, which was one of its strengths before.
Yeah, you're only doing 4 wounds, up to 4 wounds.
Yeah.
So the counter battery thing before was what it was great for.
Right.
You would always try to go first with fighting an artillery army and shoot off their other artillery.
Right.
It could also be fired as a volley gun with 2d6, range 12, strength 4, AP 3. This is still a nice option just to defend itself if something gets close.
If something gets close, you can defend yourself.
So,
strength 4 is a nice strength.
It is. The cannon is fantastic. I have a hard time going with taking anything out except for this one. I think if I did an Empire list, I think it would have one of each of these because they all have their own role. They're all really nice. Anyway, just my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. You're not wanting
for choice.
For choice with EOS. I mean, I love the mortar and I love the volley gun. Cannons, I'm not as. Don't get me. I think they're fantastic, but I just like the the volley gun better.
All right.
Brings us to Sunna's Fury, 30%. Arcane Engine. We've kind of seen these already. It's basically the same Arcane Engine that you could get a character, but this way you don't have to get a magic user that you don't want because you already have other guys for bounce spells.
And they got a bounce spell of their own.
Exactly. So you have, as before, strength, toughness, and wounds 5. 2 crew, 2 horses, strength 3. It's all that matters. Weapon skill 3, not going to hit much. Heavy armor, so 5 up save. It gets a channel and it gets tower and presence, so it's a little easier to hit. You can have up to 2 of these in the army, so you can have 1 of each. I think they need to have all 3 of them limited to 2 per army. That would make it a little more interesting. Arcane Shield, which we talked about, is basically all guys within 6 gets distracting, and know thy enemy divination spell.
Yeah, that's that. It's an 18-inch, +2 weapon skill, +2 initiative.
Right.
To 1 unit.
Yeah. Then you have Foresight with the other, which is Lightning Reflexes for everybody within 6 inches, and Fate's Judgment.
That one's the target suffers D3 hits that wound automatically with no ward or regen allowed.
Yeah, it's a nice shooting one.
It's a nice shooting thing. Both are power level 4.
Yeah.
For 280 points, these are really nice.
Yeah, they are. They're very nice.
No ward saves at all.
No. They just rely on their toughness and their
Well, that's
5-up armor.
kind of the advantage of putting the mage on them, though, is the mage, you can put a 4-up ward save on the mage, and now you got a wagon with a 4-up ward.
Yeah, I suppose.
Anyway, so I don't think it's all bad putting a mage on them.
Not all bad.
Except for the fact that you don't want the mage.
And it's taken out of your character points for the engines.
That's true, too.
And if you're going engine heavy, if you're going with all 3, it can be a challenge.
Then we have to the flagellants. Flagellants, one or two.
Yeah, flagellants. This is something else.
Flatulence is something else. The flagellants.
Yes.
160 points for 10 models. You can add up to 15 more for 20 apiece. They kind of look like they have human stats until you get to toughness 4. And they've got leadership 6, which plays a big role in them since they are...
That way they can pay less for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they're toughness 4 guys.
Why did they bother with leadership 6? Does that make any sense?
They used to be like leadership 10, but it didn't matter.
They're unbreakable.
They're unbreakable.
Give them a 7. I mean,
unbreakable means
make them human.
Make them human stats except for the toughness.
Yeah, heck, make them 8. Let's make them seem like they have a reason to have leadership.
Don't know. They have flails,
so they get hit a lot.
so they get the +1 to be hit, and they're strength 5. They're unbreakable, and they have fanatical. With this rule, they gain frenzy, so they have 2 attacks each. They can never lose it.
Yep.
And casualties were suffered in close combat are removed at initiative 0.
So basically, what means you get killed before you get to swing, you get to swing.
Always attack.
Yes. It's a weird way to write it, but yes.
Yep. Their zealots, prelate characters may join them.
Yes.
Joined characters also gain unbreakable while remaining with the unit.
Yep.
That way you can give the unit hatred if you really want to.
Yes.
But
it's a shame you can't put your artificer with them. That'd be perfect.
So he can hide in there.
He can hide in there
while they're standing back guarding your war machines.
Exactly.
Yeah. These guys are really nice. I like them a lot. A lot.
Yes, they're fantastic.
16 points a guy. I mean, that's, 8 old points when, those guys that can't get off that old thing get onto it. Fantastic.
Basically for something that's going to stop anything, depending on how many models you put into it.
Right.
They're only limited to 25 models, which is
they are
good for me because I don't have about that many painted.
But for an infantry army, I think these are almost a must.
Yeah, you get multiple units of them.
Even for a cav army, if you're going to...
They're good for protecting war machines. They're good for locking down flanks. They're good for just going out there and putting in front of something you don't want to fight for, a round.
Yep. And moving on, we come to an iconic piece in the army.
The steam tank, 440
look
points.
At that. It's been renamed again.
Yeah.
For a while, it was a steel tank.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever. This unit counts towards both Sona's Fury and Imperial Armory. I suspect that's part of why you don't see as many. I've seen a number of armies that don't have this in them.
Correct. I'm seeing more that don't either.
Yeah. It's not cheap, but strength 6, toughness 6, 7 wounds. They made it a little weaker too. Initiative 3. It's got a crew of 1.
One
with a ballistic skill of 4.
Oh, he's got a ballistic skill of 4.
Yes, and
because he's got a repeater gun.
And he's got 1 strength 3 attack.
Okay.
So an 8 defense 1, so it's a 1-up armor save all the time.
Can't tell you how many times that 1 strength 3 attack has wounded somebody in my army, though.
He has the repeater gun. What I miss from old 8th edition, used to be able to upgrade it with the long rifle, which is what mine has. Right. So yeah, it's like, dagnabbit, I like that. That was just a fun thing to do to people.
Well, especially when you could snipe out guys with it.
Yeah, well, it was just like hanging out, So it's a steam tank, it's steam-powered cannon, which we'll get to, steam engine, which we'll get to, random movement, see steam engine, it has grinding attacks, towering presence, so it's big, it's unbreakable, which is what makes it
nice.
Nice, tough, well-armored, and unbreakable. Not as tough as it used to be at one point in time, but causes terror, which is a very nice thing. Has a breath weapon, but it's only strength 2, armor piercing 3. Kind of surprised I didn't put that in the wounds category. The steam gun, which is what that's representing. Although you don't have to worry about.
At least this way it can only happen to you once
Yeah.
if you're fighting it.
Yeah, I kind of wished it was still at it all the time, actually.
Right.
Steam-powered cannon. It's an artillery weapon. Strength 2 for the bounce, 7 under the hull. So it's weaker than the regular cannon. Armor piercing 2. The multi-wounds D3.
Okay.
No clipped wings. It's a steam engine. Steam tank's remaining wounds dictates how far it can move and do stuff, basically. There's a chart below. When you're full strength, which is 5 to 7 wounds. And I love this chart. I wish they would do this for all monsters.
I do too.
People would hate that, I know, but
yeah, a lot of people.
that big things, as that would kind of bounce them a little bit more too. As they get more wounds on them, they start getting weaker.
And it gives you more reason to chip away at a couple instead of trying to concentrate and kill one.
Yeah, exactly. So D6, basically, you can have up to 3D6 movement with it when it's got that many wounds.
And it can stand still if it wants to.
Yes. And you have 2D3 grinding attacks, which is better than D6. And you have because of the bell curve, and then you have a cannon range of 42. If you're down to 3 to 4 wounds, it's up to 2d6 movement, d3 plus 1 attack, still effective. And cannon range is up to down to 30 inches. 1 to 2 wounds when you're almost dead. You still get 2d6 movement, so we kind of fixed that because it used to get
D6.
quite slow. Yeah, it was kind of useless at that point. And you still get an okay number of grinding attacks.
It's worthless.
Yeah, and you're unbreakable, so you're not doing a lot of damage, and you have a 18-inch. Yeah, always like this piece. I mean, they keep toning it down a little bit because people always complain about these things.
I've always liked this piece. I've liked to see it on the field.
I've always liked it. I never liked it when I saw 2 of them.
I didn't either.
Was it still 02?
No,
01. So they fixed that. I do wish the steam gun was part of the stat line instead of a one-shot weapon. Yeah,
correct.
I just liked it. Gives it flavor too.
Yeah,
and it would make it a little better against just cheapy infantry guys.
Yeah. I've liked take away the AP3 or whatever, and then
I take the AP3 away, maybe AP1.
Then give it to him down here in this chart.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah, let's him do that.
No, this is a nice piece.
It's a nice piece.
If you need something to plug into something, get it stuck for a while.
Yeah,
this will do it. I mean, it's a 1-up armor save, toughness 6, and 1-up armor.
So they're hard to kill. I mean, unless you have the right. I mean, if you're equipped to deal with them, you can kill them pretty easily. But
right.
But you got to be equipped to deal with them.
Yep, it's a nice piece, and look at that.
And that's the entire army.
That is the entire kingdom of. I'm sorry. Empire of Sonnstahl army.
Yes, many choices.
I like this army a lot. The only thing I think that needs work is the bound spells on the prelates.
Yes.
As far as approaching overpowered is the bound spells on the prelates and the riders.
Yes.
Both those thing, and of course, like you said, the stacking, stacking buff wagons.
And this army has
those are the only 3
so many choices, so many different things you can buy with it. It's got a lot of unit choice, which is not, I don't have a problem with that.
No, it's fantastic.
I mean, I hear people say other armies can't have things because these guys, which is, I think, is a BS argument.
Yeah, I don't like to hear that.
It's like, it shouldn't be that way. You have it because you have it. You don't have it because you can't have it because somebody else has it. That's not a good rule. But this army is a great, center point for a human-based army. So you have decent stats. You got guys with slightly better stats, guys with slightly worse, and you have all these different ways to buff them and do different things with them, and you can play it in so many different ways.
So many ways to build this army.
Right. You can go shooty. You can go cav.
Infantry
you can go,
horde.
Horde. Well, hard horde. You can go soft horde.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have 4 unbreakable units in your army. I mean, a tank and
tank and 3 flagellants.
3 flagellants. So you can go different ways with this army, and I think they've done some really nice things, with the army.
Yeah. I think it's a very good army right now.
Yeah.
It's not one of the top tier armies.
It's not overpowered.
It's definitely where I think all armies should be kind of targeted at.
It is,
because it's at that level of armies.
It doesn't have really any units that are true duds that you see no purpose, because other things are just so much better.
Yeah, you're right.
You can argue the core guys, but core guys are core,
Core guys are core guys. You have to have core guys.
Yeah. But generally speaking, there's a reason to go in different directions, and
Yeah,
you just have to
correct.
decide.
There's not a. You're right. There's no real duds in this army, are there?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the only thing it doesn't really have is a really fast, really cheap chaff unit.
Like a little unit of wolves or dogs.
Or whatever.
Something.
An eagle or a bat or something.
Yeah.
It's the only thing it does. I mean, it's got cheap small units
like these 10 state
right,
militia
or the scouts later on, but they're only moving 4. They're not flying around or anything like that. It doesn't have that, but that's about the only thing it doesn't have. And I'm not saying it should have that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it doesn't have that.
Yeah, because they've got monstrous cav in this with those Knights of the Sun.
Right,
Griffin.
and your steam tank is the equivalent of a monster.
And your steam tank is a monster.
Let's be honest. So you're not going to do a monster mash army with this army, but it's got a little bit of everything. I really like the way this army is designed.
I do too. I think they've done a good job with it.
Yeah, unless they have IP issues and they have to change things because of that, with version 2, I don't see them doing very much as far as changes to this army.
I don't either. Maybe
a couple little tweaks, but that'd be about it.
There's a call for them to have their cav toned down a bit from the Kingdom of Equitaine players.
Well, there was one guy that said that, yeah.
Well, the big thing is they do cav better than Kingdom of Equitaine does at the moment.
They do in a lot of ways, but that's only because the monstrous cav.
Right. And the buff wagons following.
And the buff wagons, if you can keep them up. So I don't think the problem with these guys is I don't think their cav needs to be downgraded.
I don't either.
Equitaine has other issues that because it's a unique build army that need to be dealt with within it, and I do not like the argument these guys should have something, these guys shouldn't have something, or that these guys are better than these guys. It's like, if you believe that Equitaine should be a cavalry-based army, and I think you and I are both in there.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a cavalry-based
army. There's ways to focus on that army. You don't need to mess with EOS to do that.
Correct. Leave EOS alone and fix the Equitaine.
Yes.
Yep. Anyway, like I said, I think this is a very good army. It's definitely thumbs up for me. It's kind of in the middle. There's nothing really broken in this army except, like I said, the things I mentioned need a little tweaking.
I think it's a top second tier army. It's in the top 50, I think.
It is in the top half.
Correct. I think it's definitely in the top half.
If you break them in groups of 4, they're in that second section. I think.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they said it before, and I think they're right. This is the army balance. It's just got so much internal balance, in my opinion.
Yeah, and like I keep saying, so many ways to build this army.
Yeah.
So many things to do with it.
Well, your opponent in your last battle report, he has this in ogres, and he didn't want to play this army because he was struggling on how to build it. Right. He was overwhelmed with choice. It was
for
like
the
going
longest time.
It was like going to Walmart. I couldn't decide what he wanted to buy.
I want one of those, and I want one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I'm playing a 4,500 game, and I can't fit it in less than 6,000.
Yeah, and he's got 12,000 points.
Exactly. Because I like all this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, great army. They've done a really good job with it. Tweak it a little bit, and we're right there.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, that's my opinion.
Yep. Give it a thumbs up.
Thanks for listening.
Till next time.
Thumbs up. I did say thumbs up at one point, didn't I? Didn't I?
Gotta give the thumb, thumb up, thumb down.
Thumb up. There you go. Thumb is up. See?
That's what we do.
Thumbs up. All right. Thanks for listening.